Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 2022 New Moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Pisces be affected by the March 2022 new moon? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is the emotional self. And the right-hand side is our public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the 5 of Pentacles and we have the 9 of Cups. So there's a really big shift going on from feeling out in the cold, from the poverty mentality of the 5 of Pentacles to the prosperity of the 9 of Cups. So that's a very interesting thing to see, and a very positive thing to see. We have the King of Swords and we have the Fool. We're definitely knowing our mind, especially within ourselves. There's an honesty that we're going to be speaking to ourselves that is really quite intense. There can also be somebody around us who's very sure of themselves, who has just a very blunt, very direct way of speaking, and it really helps us take a leap towards our dreams, towards what we want. It moves us then to our emotional selves. It's the 3 of Pentacles. Watch your money, right? Look at your prosperity, building our warmth, our security, and our abundance. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, things falling into balance. Things falling into balance around us. Emotionally, we're saying, this is right, but this isn't. And we're not going to be shy about it anymore. It brings us to our public arena self, and we have the Knight of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and then the 8 of Pentacles is hard work, discipline, dedication. We're really moving forward during this time, there we go, to our passion, to what we desire, to what's important to us. It moves us to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Oh, goodness. It's this one right here, the Prince of Pentacles. And this is the energy of secrets around money, around prosperity, around the way that we want to move forward. This is somebody who moves very, very slowly, but is not telling you the full story. So just be aware of that. We then have our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. So we have 2, both around the throat chakra, which is really quite beautiful. We have life purpose and communication. During this time, we're going to be communicating our life purpose to us. And our life purpose is going to be communicating to us. So there is going to be a sense of, I'm seeing more than I have seen before. I'm hearing more than I have heard before. There is a power, there's an awakening that is guiding me forward, that is really kind of changing the game and really having me look at things so differently than I had thought I would be looking at them. We're communicating not only with ourselves, with our inner selves, with what we desire, what we want, with what we need, but we're also communicating with the rest of the world. We're going to find that we're being brave in our ability to speak up for ourselves. Now let us look at this moon. This is the new moon in Pisces, so of course it has a great effect on us. It says here, meditate and contemplate, which is what the new moon brings us. The new moon also brings the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, as well as a burst of energy, insight, and intuition. This is a time of emotional balance. Now, what's really cool about this moon is that everything is intensified because Jupiter is conjunct the sun, and the sun is conjunct the moon, so everything is right next to each other during this time. The sun is the giver of life, and Jupiter is what grows that life forward, what really helps us grow and become and discover. Now, we also have the energies of passion, rebirth, and love coming forward. What we have to make sure is that love trumps all, that love brings us this power and this connection during this time. Because if we let our passion become anger or hatred or chaos, that's going to be something that will take over and will move us forward in a way that we don't want. It brings destruction and war and devastation. So just being really mindful of that. We also have Neptune coming into play. Now, we are ruled by Neptune, so this is a big deal. And Neptune rules our dreams and also our spiritual side. So there's a connection with our dreams. There's a broader insight into our not only our dreams, but our spiritual discovery and development of self. And there's this real sense of kind of coming home when it comes to the realm of what we want to achieve and how we want to move forward. Now, there is an energy of things becoming murky around this time, but actually it's not becoming murky around this time. They have been murky for a while. We've been seeing things and then it's become unclear, and we might have lost interest or, couldn't kind of gauge the plot again. And so kind of stepped away. This is going to be a time where we need to be very careful about where things become unclear, what is making it unclear, and what is like working against us and causing confusion during this time. So just being aware of that is going to be very important. We have to call out the poverty mentality at our root, the Five of Pentacles, the sense of I'm going to be out in the cold and I'm here, having to take care of things on my own and not going into a place of support or care for us. And that is the poverty mentality. I cannot enter into what I truly want, what brings me security and abundance. Now, this is a poverty mindset. So we're going to have to acknowledge it. We're going to have to say, no, you don't get to rule my life anymore, because this is a trauma that we've been through. This is something chaotic that has come up, and it has made us doubt our success as we move forward. So as we look at this, we can meditate on this and just see what comes into our mind, because it might be something so small that we never thought it was a big deal, and yet it is so powerful. It is so impactful on us. It brings us to the Nine of Cups. There's sweetness like honey melting on our lips. There's a beauty coming forward. There's a sense of, this is what I wish for. This is what I want. This is what I desire. But we're going to be doubting it. Why? Because we're going to think, I'm protecting myself. I've had the rug pulled out from underneath me before. I'm not being made the fool again. But moving towards what we wish, what we love, what we want in our lives, that's the game changer here. And it really moves us in our inner selves to being very plain spoken and very determined, which, we're kind of focusing on what Confucius said, name things clearly, state things clearly and have them move forward in that clarity. The King of Swords is, in my opinion, the most masculine of all the kings. He cuts through doubts and fears and negativity. He's the only one who holds a weapon within his hands and says, this is what I want. This is what I'm moving after. This is it. Period. End of discussion. The King of Swords does not mince words. He does not play around. He is going after what is desired, and nothing will hold him back. And that's what we're doing right here. We're very much moving in the direction of what we want, what we need, and where it is that we want to be in the long run. And there's a level of fierceness to us that's going to be surprising. Now, there can also be somebody in our personal lives that kind of gives us the kick in our tush to really make us move forward. It's like, no, you're not going to doubt yourself anymore. You're way more talented than you think you are. Go after it, because we have the Fool here. And the Fool is always a complicated card because no human being wants to be the fool. Now, the fool also in a medieval court was the person who could say things that nobody else could say, and that often got them in trouble. So we can find here that as we're communicating, as we're moving towards our life path, people aren't understanding us, aren't seeing us the way that we really want them to. The fool also is the energy of taking that leap of faith, of going after what we want. We know that every single hero's journey begins with that person first and foremost being a fool. And that's something that I constantly need to remind myself. So I will constantly tell it to everyone. We cannot be afraid of what everybody else thinks, because if we live for everybody else, then we will always come up short. We will never be what they expect us to be. We'll just will not. Because everybody has their own expectations about how life should be lived, how we should move forward, what it is that is right and what it is that is wrong. And so here, as we take our leap of faith, we know that people will laugh and that people will mock. And that's what people do until we become the success, until we move ourselves forward and we say, look at what I've achieved. Look at how I've achieved it. It brings us then to our heart energy, which is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles here says, guard your wealth. Guard your wealth and guard your prosperity. As you create your warmth and your stability and your abundance, dreams are going to be very insightful for us. There's also more prosperity coming into our lives. That's why we have to be very mindful of turning away from it, of feeling like we're not worthy of it, because we absolutely are. It brings us to the Six of Pentacles. Things need to be balanced. This is things coming into balance. This is us understanding our balance, understanding our harmony, understanding what it is that we need, looking at the world around us and saying, this is out of sorts. This isn't right. I can't emotionally move forward in confidence with this not where I need it to be. And it can be that we make a change. It can be that we say, you know what, no to this, but yes to this. And we open up a greater door, a greater understanding for what we want, for who we are, for where we're headed. And that moves us to a ferocity of spirit in the public arena world. We're going to move in the waking world in the sense of determination and focus and passion and insight and ideas. And it's like, I'm blasting open that door. Nobody is stopping me. We have fire, we have intuition, we have just determination really leading us forward. And it brings us to the Eight of Pentacles. It brings us to hard work, and it brings us to dedication, and it brings us to prosperity, and it brings us to this place of, I'm getting the job done. I'm going after what I need. I'm going after what I want. I've put in my 10,000 hours. I'm becoming a master at this. And as this guides me, as this leads me, as this moves with me, I see myself more and more. I open the door more and more. And this is not only what we're working towards, in our home life, in our family life, at work. This is what we're moving towards with every single lesson that Spirit puts in our path. Every single time we say, why does this always happen to me? Why do I have to come up against these type of people? Why do I have to experience this type of rejection or hurt or pain? That's us also being carved in a very specific way. And we're being made, into Michelangelo's, David. We're being made into this beautiful work of art that is something that is extraordinary. And that extraordinary leads us on a journey of profound change and of profound power. Now, let's look at our Luna message for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, there we go. I love it. It set itself in its proper place. So at our root, we have prosperity lies ahead. Realization that to open up that prosperity, we are the key. We have to be the one to unlock the door, to move us forward, not stand out in the cold. That's going to be really important for us because there's some sort of blockage, Pisces, that we're always coming up against. This sense of, I'm not worthy. I can't move forward this way. It isn't meant for me. Or we sabotage. It's like, I have too much on my plate. I'm already overworked. I'm already underappreciated. I'm already overwhelmed. And so we're walking away from something that's really, really important to us. And that's what we wish. We wish to have that beautiful thing come forward within our lives. And it's really walking away from the trauma that we've been through and saying, you don't get to define me anymore. You don't get to have me standing out in the cold anymore. It moves us to our inner lunar self, which says adjustments are required, balance. As we're, jumping forward, as we're asserting ourselves, we need to find our balance and find our harmony and know that, yes, we will be adjusting things along the way. It won't be the way that we thought we were going to move forward. The road isn't going to be what we had thought, what we had planned, and we're going to make adjustments for that. It brings us then into our emotional self, which says you are good enough. And this is assessing. It's assessing the fact that we are enough, that we don't have to be anything else in order to live and thrive and really move forward in the beauty, in the connection that is us. This is adjusting our view as where we want to be, and assessing where we are, what we are discovering, and what we need within our lives. And we are good enough. This isn't something that is said to make us feel, placated. It's something that is said to make us realize our worth and our tenacity and what we desire, and to know that we bring enough to the table. It brings us then into our public arena self. And it says, a personal issue reaches resolution, attraction. As this issue reaches a resolution, we are attracting to us what we need to build, what we need to discover, what we need to, nurture within our lives and for ourselves. Our subconscious lunar energy is Virgo energy coming through once again. So we have the Virgo full moon here, and here we have the Virgo new moon, which says a time to give rather than take. It's a time to give of our blessings, of the energy of our life purpose, and to communicate that to us instead of taking and saying, oh no, I still need to discover more within me. We become more focused. And as we become more focused, we become more insightful to ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious tarot energy, which is the King of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty. This is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We are embracing our success. We are looking at ourselves not as pawns to be moved, but as main players to dictate our own fate. And as we do this, we find greater wisdom, we find greater knowledge. Ideas start to come to us through our dreams or through the moments like when we're in the shower or our mind is wandering. It's like, oh, that's the key that I needed. That's what I need to move me forward towards. This builds us more prosperity, bounty, and abundance. And we're going to see a lot of the hard work and nurturing that we've put into things really starting to come forward now. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is Sagittarius energy. We need to be mindful of other people's wisdoms that isn't ours, other people's truths, other people's prosperities that don't match our life purpose and why we're here. Meaning that we can be really inspired by somebody, but if it doesn't ring true for us, if we're trying to follow their blueprint, their idea, and it's not right, let us not walk down that path. Let us not say, oh, but they have to be right because they're so successful. No, they're right for them. It doesn't mean they're right for us, Pisces. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is balance, which was at our root with the temperance energy. Was it the temperance energy? No, it wasn't. It's the 9 of Cups, which is at our root with the 9 of Cups, with the blessing coming in and the harmony leading us forward. Here we have balance. Here we have harmony. Here we have a sense of this is what I want and this is what I need. And this is my root chakra. This is the root of me in balance with myself and living towards and moving towards what I wish and then discovering for my life. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let us end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this new moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces, and may you have a blessed moon.